Happy Thursday. I hope your week is off to a great start. Another Build the Titanic episode is coming your way today on Brickscale Studio. Welcome back to Brickscale Studio. My name is Jeff. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am always grateful to have you here. So today, a little bit of deja vu. We are building a second engine. So we've already built one engine. That was way back in one of the first episodes. We built one of the engines, and it has the pistons, and you can turn the wheel, and you can watch the pistons go up and down. So today we're going to be building another one. So let's get into that build, and we will talk about it after. Here is issue 27. So we get our magazine here. And as I mentioned in the introduction, this is going to be a little bit of deja vu. We're going to be working on the second engine. We already built one. So we are going to be building the second one. So here is parts pack 27. So we have the columns for the port side. And then we have our cylinders here in this bag. We have our short connectors in this bag. We have our connecting shafts here. And then we have our valve rods here. All right, so this should be fairly simple because we've already been through this. But it was quite a while ago. It was one of the first issues, and here we are in issue 14, so let me get the valve rods out, and then we're going to need the connectors here. Or I'm sorry, these are the connecting shafts. Don't confuse them with the short connectors. All right, and these just snap in like so. And I find it easier to kind of go in like underneath and put the first one on. Of course, the first one went on super easy, and this one is being difficult. There we go. And then if you need to come in through the top and kind of nudge that one on, like so. So there we go. We have those on, like so. Now we want to take our short connectors. Okay, and it's probably hard to tell, but there is sort of a larger end and a smaller end. We want the smaller end to be like so. And these snap on real easy, so no worries there. And the smaller end on this one. All right, so they kind of show these like this. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to get our cylinders. And remember, these are going to be labeled. So we want, let's see, they're L5, 6, 7, and 8. So this is L7. This is L6. This one is L5, and so this one must be L8. So we lay them out just like so. And now we bring over our engine piece here. And we want this going like so. And these are going in with BM screws. Right, these go over the top. Now I remember. So the two on the end kind of have a little lug, a locator. Well, I guess they all do. They have these little locator lugs here. All right, so we have those in, and that is looking like that. And that is it for issue 27. So let me move this aside. And here is issue 28. I believe we're just going to continue work on this, so we have a continuation of the article from issue 27. Here it talks about the movie, one of the movie versions. We talked earlier about one with Barbara Stanwyck. This one is The Unsinkable Molly Brown, which focuses on Margaret Brown, who was from Denver, Colorado. In the 1997 movie, she was played by Kathy Bates. And in this version, which is a musical version, she's played by Debbie Reynolds. I actually went to the Molly Brown house. Oh, here's a movie poster for The Unsinkable Molly Brown, Debbie Reynolds. I actually went to the Molly Brown house in Denver, Colorado. I only got to see the outside. It was at night, and the house was closed. But I will put a picture up so that you can see what the outside looks like at night, at least. So this is the house that Molly Brown lived in Denver, Colorado. Cool. And then we are, like it says, more parts for the second engine. So we're going to keep right on going with that, working on the second engine. So let's get those going. Here we have our parts pack. All right, so again, now we have the columns for the starboard side. We have the port side in the last episode, remember, or the last issue. Then we have, these are the connecting rods. These are the piston rods, and then we have more cylinders and more screws. All right, so let's see what we are doing. It looks like we are working with these connecting rods and piston rods first. So let's get those out. So the first ones, we want the ones with the little hooks on them and the stirrups. That's kind of what they look like. They have a sort of a hook on one end and then a little stirrup on this end. So these we just want to take and put these together like so. All right, those are on there like that. And now again, we want to take our columns for our starboard side, and we want to take our cylinders here. And again, these are numbered. We have, again, 5 through 8. So this one is number 6. This one is number 5. This one's going to be 8, and this one's going to be 7. So the other ones were labeled L5 through 8. These are R5 through 8, so we're doing the right side. And again, we're just going to be putting these on with the BM screws. So rather than try to put them all on there at once, I'm just going to do them one at a time. It's just easier. And it's pretty simple. You just line up the lug and the screw hole. These are pretty short screws, so you shouldn't have too much difficulty. But if you do, you can always, since we are going into metal, you can dip these in some oil. Now, I picked up that tip from World of Wayne when I was doing the DeLorean build, which we are done with now. But if you haven't checked out that series, it is on the channel, and there's a playlist. And that one, I did run into a lot of issues with screws being very hard to get in, and dipping them in oil really helped. But with this Titanic build and our Optimus Prime build, I haven't really had that problem. The screws have been very easy. So again, just like in the previous issue, we attached our cylinders, we got these hooked together, and that's all we're doing. So I imagine in the next episode, we're gonna put this all together. But for now, let's move on to the LEGO side. Here we are on the LEGO side. So remember last episode, we again built up a couple more decks for height. We got these pieces on, and then we attached this piece of hull plating. So in this episode, we're going to be doing steps 197 through 210. All right, that is the end of the LEGO portion. So we attached this piece of hull, and we did the same thing. We built these two on the other side, and then we started on this piece, which we will have to wait until the next episode to see what's going on with that. So that is it for the LEGO portion. To recap this episode, on the LEGO side, again, we attached this piece, we built up these two pieces, and then we started working on this piece. And then for the scale model side, we started working on the second engine. So we got the columns and the cylinders for the port and the starboard side, and then we got these connectors and shafts and things. So in the next episode, we'll continue work on this piece on the LEGO side, and we'll finish putting this engine together on the scale model side. So that will do it for issue 14. Well, we've got a good start on that second engine. It seems like maybe they're spacing it out a little more than the first time we did it. I seem to remember there were more steps initially. Here it seems like we're kind of, splitting it up a little more. But a short and sweet build episode. I like those. As I mentioned in the last episode, we've got one coming up that's a bit challenging. There's a lot of teeny tiny parts, so these nice, easy ones are very much appreciated. So let's get into our summary. So yeah, the steps and parts definitely reflect sort of the chill episode. We only completed 7 steps. We used 30 parts on the scale model side, 22 steps and 61 parts on the LEGO side. So total to date, 161 steps and 291 parts for the scale model, and 393 steps and 1,430 for the LEGO. Okay, so as I said, we're kind of ramping up the next episode, especially on the LEGO side. You're going to see that part count go way up. We're not adding a lot of bulk to the ship, but there a lot of small pieces. We're doing some portholes and stuff like that, so a lot of smaller pieces, so it drives that part count up. So let's see what is coming up on the channel. So for Saturday, we are doing another ship If you've been following the Batmobile build, you know that we've been having problems getting parts. There's like all these logistic issues and demand issues. So once again, you know, we're out of parts, so we're sort of filling in with other stuff. So we have another boat coming up on Saturday. It is the Endurance, which is Shackleton's vessel that he used to explore the Arctic. And so it's kind of tied in. It's August 9th. We're about a day behind, but August 8th is when they launched that mission. So we'll get more into that on Saturday when we talk about that build. And then Tuesday, of course, we have another Optimus Prime build where last week we finished off the lower leg, and now we're shifting gears. And we're going to be working on the hips and upper legs in the next few episodes, so be sure to check that out. And again, remember to like, share, subscribe. It doesn't cost anything to become a subscriber, totally free. And we are trying to get those subscriber numbers up so that we can give away some free Lego. We're about 100 subscribers away, a little shy of 100, for our next giveaway. And so, you know, if you could help us reach that goal, it would be very much appreciated. And like I said, totally free for you. It just notifies you when new videos come out. But until we see each other again, happy building, take care, be kind to each other, and I'll see you soon.